that how the tumors are seen and how they present. Either you will find the tumors that are benign, that remain benign forever and they do not convert to malignant one, or there are some tumors that start as a benign tumors but later on they show dysplasia in the cells. And there are also some events in which the tumors, they begin with a benign nature, then they show dysplasia in their cells, and later on the dysplasia, it covers whole of the epithelium, resulting in the formation of carcinoma in situ. Then there is also there are some tumors that take up a start with the benign nature. Later on you will find dysplastic change in that tumors that turn into carcinoma in situ, and later on this carcinoma in situ, it changes to invasive neoplasm, that is malignant neoplasm. Or in some tumors, at a very start you will see dysplasia, later on they change into carcinoma in situ, and then they form the invasive tumors. Then there are some tumors that take up a start with the in situ picture, that is the whole of the epithelium. It is covered with the dysplastic cells resulting in carcinoma in situ, and later on they become invasive. And many of the tumors are such tumors that take up a start with the invasiveness, that is their cells, they show pleomorphism, they show it in nature, and they convert, and they result in the invasion into the deeper layers of in the surrounding structures. So we call such type of tumors as invasive tumors. Now, on the basis of benign or malignant nature, we give the names to that tumors. If the tumor is of epithelial nature and it is benign, then we use the suffix oma at the end, and if it is malignant, then we used carcinoma as a suffix. And if the tumors, they arise from the connective tissue, if these are benign, similarly we use the suffix oma for that. And if these are malignant tumors that are arising from the connective tissue, we use the suffix sarcoma for that tumors. My dear students, there are some exceptions for the lymphoid tumors. The lymphoid tumors, in that by naming these tumors, we use the suffix oma for benign as well as for malignant tumors. So the malignant tumors arising from the lymphoid cells, these are named as lymphomas, T cell lymphomas, B cell lymphomas, and that are malignant tumors. And there are some tumors that arise from the germ cells that are named as teratomas. So we name both the benign and the malignant tumors as teratomas. Teratomas, these are differentiated as benign and malignant based on their maturity. If these are mature teratomas, we name these are the benign tumors. If these are immature type of teratomas, then these are malignant tumors. But both the tumors, they are named as teratomas. Here are you are shown the examples. The tumors that arise from the squamous epithelium, and if these are benign, these are named as squamous cell papillomas, squamous papillomas, and those that arise from the transitional epithelium, these are named as papillomas. So papillomas, oma for the benign nature for these type of epithelium. Then the tumors that arise from the glandular structures, we use adeno for the glands. So oma for benign. So adenoma are the tumors that arise from the glandular epithelium and are benign tumors. These are the picture shown to you of the benign tumor that is very commonly seen in the uterus, and its name is leiomyoma. Again, a picture of benign tumor that is shown to you. These are abundant papillary structures. So this tumor is lined by papillae, but there is no invasion seen in this tumor. So it is papilloma. Now we come to the malignant epithelial neoplasms. Carcinomas is the name that we use for the epithelial tumors. Squamous cell carcinoma, transitional carcinomas, adenocarcinomas, and those that arise from the basal cells of the skin, they are named as basal cell carcinomas. This is a picture shown to you, my dear students. This is a tumor that is arising from the squamous epithelium. This is the squamous epithelium. So the squamous epithelial cells, they have shown a marked atypical change, pleomorphism. Along with that, these cells, they have invaded into the deeper areas and they are forming squamous cell carcinoma. And we will call this type of picture as well differentiated squamous cell carcinoma. We will discuss the differentiation in detail in the next lectures also. So based on their restoration of their functioning capability, they are functional because these are the keratin pearls that are present in the squamous cells. So it means that the squamous cells, they are able to produce keratin. So we say that the keratin producing squamous epithelial cells, they have maintained their functional capability of producing keratin. So they are named as well differentiated squamous cell carcinoma. My dear students, this is a picture of another malignant neoplasm, malignant epithelial neoplasm. Here, these are the structures that are shown to you. What are these structures? These are variable sized glands, small, large, medium sized, different variable sized and variable shaped glands are seen. And these glands, they show invasiveness. So this is the malignant tumor that is formed from the glandular structures. So we name these tumor as adenocarcinoma. This is, my dear students, a gross picture of an adenocarcinoma that is arising from the intestine. Another picture of adenocarcinoma in which you are shown tightly packed glands of variable size. These are the glands that are tightly packed and they show invasiveness, so they are named as adenocarcinoma. Here, my dear students, you are shown the names of benign tumors that arise from the connective tissue. So what are the various connective tissues? The smooth muscles, fibrous tissue, bones, cartilage, fat, nerve sheath, glial cells, etc. So for smooth muscle, we use the word leiomyo. Myo for muscle, leo for smooth. So leiomyoma for benign tumor arising from the smooth muscles. Fibroma, benign tumor arising from fibrous tissue. Osteoma, benign tumor arising from bone. Chondroma, benign tumor arising from cartilage. Lipoma, benign tumor arising from fat. Neurofibroma or neuroma, benign tumor arising from nerve. Neurolemoma, benign tumor arising from nerve sheath. And gliomas. So these are the benign tumors that arise from the connective tissue. This is a tumor, my dear students, shown to you, that is benign tumor, and it is leiomyoma, that is arising from the smooth muscles of the uterus, and these are the benign tumors. So they are named as leiomyoma. Then another benign tumor that arises from the thyroid. It comprises of the glands, but they do not show invasiveness in the capsule. So that's why these are the benign tumors of the thyroid. So benign tumor of the thyroid that comprises of various sized follicles or glands, we say. These are the variable sized follicles that are glandular structures. So that's why we name this tumor as adenoma, thyroid adenoma, follicular adenoma. Now we come to the malignant tumors and then how do we name the malignant tumors that arise from the connective tissue. So just as we discussed in the previous slide regarding the benign tumors arising from the connective tissue, same is the pattern, but instead of oma we use sarcoma for all these. Leiomyosarcoma, osteosarcoma, fibrosarcoma, chondrosarcoma, liposarcoma, neurofibrosarcoma, neurolemosarcoma. Now there is an exception for the glial cells. There are some exceptions as I discussed, that lymphomas are also the tumors for which we use the same word lymphoma. We use the name for malignant tumors also. Similarly, Glioma is the name that is also used for the malignant tumor. So we say malignant glioma for that. So this is again an exception. My dear students, this is a picture of a malignant tumor that arises from the fibrous tissue. So its name is fibrosarcoma. It shows the spindle cells that are arranged in the herringbone pattern. Fibrosarcoma. And as I have already told you that the tumors that arise from the lymphoid tissue, these are named as B-cell lymphoma, T-cell lymphoma, Hodgkin lymphoma, that are malignant tumors arising from the lymphoid tissue, and that is an exception. Same similar for the bone marrow, that the malignant tumors that arise from the bone marrow, they are named as the cells of the bone marrow. When they show malignant transformation, they are named as leukemias, acute and chronic leukemia. So these are also the malignant tumors that do not follow that our pattern of nomenclature. So these are the exceptions. Now we come to the germ cells. My dear students, the germ cells that the tumors that arise from the germ cells in the testes, they are named as teratomas, seminomas. So these are the malignant tumors, but they end up with the suffix oma, again an exception. And when these teratomas are found in the ovary, they are named as mature teratomas, and these are benign. Whereas the teratomas in the testes, if they comprise of immature structures, then these are named as, this is named as immature teratoma, and that is malignant tumor. And the tumor, the teratoma that is found in the ovary, it is also named as dermoid cyst. So this is all. This is a table that is shown to you, and this is present in your books. So please read it out and please learn it thoroughly. This is a table which comprises of all the different types of tumors, benign and malignant, that are shown to you, arising from different tissues. Again, another picture of a benign tumor, leiomyoma. This is a gross picture, and this is microscopic picture of leiomyoma of the myometrium. This is the picture of leiomyosarcoma, that is the malignant tumor arising from the smooth muscle of the uterus. Here you can see the atypia of the cells having atypical mitotic activity, having pleomorphism, cellular and nuclear pleomorphism, hyperchromatism. This is atypical mitotic activity. So all these features of atypia are seen, all these features of malignancy are seen in this tumor, and it shows invasiveness. So it is leiomyosarcoma, and this is a gross picture of that leiomyosarcoma. My dear students, this is a table shown to you of some other tumors. The tumors that arise from the salivary gland, these are named as pleomorphic adenoma. These are benign tumors, and they, if their malignant counterpart is named as malignant mixed tumor of the salivary gland. Then the tumors from the renal that arise from the renal tissue, if these are malignant or comprising of immature contents, these are named as Wilms tumor. Then there are some other tumors that arise from the totipotential cells. These are named as mature teratoma, as I have told you, and immature teratoma. If they are immature teratoma, these are malignant. If these are mature, these are benign tumors, and they are also named as dermoid cyst. So teratoma, it contains recognizable mature or immature cells or tissues representative of more than one germ cell layer, and sometimes all the 3 germ cell layers. So teratomas, they originate from totipotential cells, such as those normally present in the ovary and testes. Mature teratoma, when these are benign, when all the component parts are well differentiated, it is benign teratoma, that is dermoid cyst in the ovary. Immature teratoma, when less differentiated or immature contents are seen, it is an immature, potentially or overtly malignant teratoma. Example is immature teratoma in the testes. So a particularly common pattern is seen in the ovarian cystic teratoma, dermoid cyst, which differentiates principally along ectodermal lines to create a cystic tumor that is lined by skin with hair, sebaceous glands and tooth structure. This is the typical picture of that mature teratoma of the ovary. And this is another picture, my dear students, shown to you of a benign tumor of the salivary gland, that is pleomorphic adenoma, that arises from the parotid gland, and it contains epithelial cells forming ducts and myxoid stroma that resemble the cartilage. That's why it's named as pleomorphic adenoma, but it is a benign tumor.